Hi, Ken Ajoku here, and I want to today share a story with you. Would you like to hear the story? Would you? Okay, here's the story. The story is about a gentleman called Ken Ajoku. And what happened is I got my degree. I studied very hard, got the degree, and I applied for several jobs. I applied, in fact, I made about 1,000 applications for work, and I was really desperate to work. I had all the qualifications, but no experience. So I applied and I applied and applied. Eventually, I got a job with a blue chip company, and I worked my tail off. I went in early. I worked through the lunch breaks. I worked in the evening. I worked late, and every time they kept on promising me they're going to increase the salary, and they never ever did. They kept on dangling that carrot, that carrot on the stick. Yes, we'll increase your salary. Yes, we're going to review your salary. Just wait the next 3 months. Just wait the next 3 months. Just wait the next 3 months. This went on for a long time. So eventually I said to myself, you know what? I'm renting a property at the moment. I don't want to continue renting for the rest of my life. I want to be able to buy my own property and, get my own house and start my own life. So eventually what happened is I started doing some business on the side. I started manufacturing my own computers. And I had quite a good demand for it. So what I started doing is in the morning, I would start early on my business. Then I'll go to work. In the lunch break, I'll do my business. And then in the evening, I'll continue doing my business after work. So they called me for a review, and they said, sorry, we're going to have to actually fire you. We're going to have to let you go. That was the best day of that was the beginning of the rest of my life, to be quite honest with you. That propelled me to motivate me to actually get started and start doing my business. That was 1993, roughly 1990, 1993. So that's quite some time ago, and I've never gone back since. So what happened from there? What did I do from there? Yes, so I started working for myself. I was working for I slept for 4 hours. Basically, I worked all the rest of the time. I would go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I would get up at 8 o'clock, and I'd work right round the clock. And I did that straight for 2 years. And I was able to save up enough money to put down a deposit to buy a house. Now, I wasn't actually going to buy a house with a deposit. I was going to buy it with cash, because I thought those days that's what you do. You save up enough money and you just buy the house cash. I didn't know anything about a mortgage. So my dad then instructed me and told me, no, you need to leverage your money and get a mortgage. I'm like, well, why would I need a mortgage? I'll just buy cash. He says, no, you need to do that. So I followed his advice. I was able to buy a property, put down quite a bit of a deposit, and was able to buy my first property in 1993. Yes, I've got my first property. I was ecstatic, over the moon. Then I had a bit of a lull because I carried on building my business. My business was growing very rapidly. I had 8 staff members. I was doing lots of turnover every week. I had about 8 or 10 staff at the time, and I was growing very rapidly. The business was growing quickly. The IT industry was fantastic at that time. Money was everywhere. Everyone was just buying computers left and right. So that was going very well. Then year 2000, I did my first development. The story with that, let me show you what happened with that. What happened is I saw a commercial building, and it had a ground floor shop, and it had upper offices, and it was across the road actually from my accountant's office. And I said to my accountant, oh, I'm thinking of buying that property just across the road over there. What do you think? He frog marched me across the road and said, we're going to buy this property now. I said, what are you talking about? I said, I'm just thinking about it. I'm not really ready to buy this. He goes, no, let's do it. You can do this. I'm your accountant. You can buy this. So I said, oh, okay. So we went in, we made an offer straight away, and we managed to purchase that property. Now, the story goes on further from there, because what actually happened is after buying that property, I tried to get some quotations to get the work done, and it needed quite a bit of work done. And I was getting quotations of about £90,000. £90,000 in the year 2000, it might as well have been £500,000. It was so much money. And I was just, I was in a dilemma. I just didn't know how I was going to manage to find £90,000. Eventually, I had a company that said that they would do it for me for £45,000. And even then, 45,000 was still a lot, but it was much better than 90. So I went along with them, and eventually they did the work. They did it very slowly. It took me something like 18 months to do something that should have taken 6 or 9 months. Eventually they finished, and when they finished, I got it inspected and it failed the inspection. I had to get it done again. So £45,000 later again, I had to now put more money into it and, get it done properly. So £90,000 in debt now. It's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? I was working day and night. Every single penny I got, I poured back into this project. I kept pouring the money back, pouring the money back, pouring the money back in. So eventually, when I finished the refurbishment and all the converting the offices into flats, I was able to refinance the property, and I was able to pull my money back out, which I didn't know that was a strategy. I just, refinanced the property. They gave me a valuation. I said, oh, that's good. And I was able to pull that money back out of the property, leaving me balanced nicely, and then having the property as well. So, it was an upper ground floor shop, which I converted into a delicatessen, and I rented it out to a 10-year contract. And then the upper was a 2-bedroom flat, and the upper above that was a 3-bedroom flat with a loft conversion on the top. So it was quite a big project, but it did pay off. So fast forwarding from there, I thought, okay, this property business is not too bad. So fast forwarding from there, I went and I got a contract with a council to manage their properties for the landlords. I started getting into property a bit more. I started paying for training. I went and paid for courses. I've done several courses to learn more and more different strategies and different ways to work with properties. I learned about lease options. I learned about assisted sales. I learned about rent to rent in a small way. I learned about guaranteed rent. I learned so many different strategies that you can do. It was just so many. It was just huge. So many things you could do. Massive. And it was exciting. It was a very exciting journey. So eventually I continued to build the portfolio. People started asking me, Ken, show me what you're doing. Show me how to do this. Show me how to do this. So I set up training courses. I was doing mentorships, and life was good. It was great. Until one day my missus says, listen, you need to continue to build the portfolio. You need to stop training and continue building the portfolio. So then I had to go for further training because I was my saw was blunt. 7 Habits says that you should keep sharpening your saw. Make sure your saw is sharp so that you're up to speed with things and you can get things done. So I had to go back and do even more training. So I believe that when you're doing these kind of things, you need to be training all the time, because your strategies and your tactics don't stay stagnant. The playing field is always moving. It's never a level playing field. It's always moving, advancing. There's always new strategies, new laws come out, different restrictions come out. You have to be aware of all these things. So you have to be continuing training. So the journey it's continuing. I'm still on that journey now. It's just so fantastic. Now I'm focusing on HMO properties. I'm focusing on developments. I'm looking at the land developments and building flats on them. I've actually set up another property sourcing company, so we're actually sourcing properties for clients, so that's doing okay as well. But I'm just continuing to grow in this this property arena. It's just so exciting and so fantastic. I just thought I'd share that a little bit of my journey with you so you can understand where I've come from and what kind of things I'm trying to do and what I've done in the past and how I've actually got there. And if you're on this property journey, then I would just really implore you to just continue push through, but love what you do. Really be excited about what you do. Don't just do it for the money, because if the money's taken away, would you still do it? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Be ecstatic about helping people. Be ecstatic about property. It's just exciting. It's such an exciting it's just developing properties, developing units, making people happy, developing homes for people. It's just such a fantastic and phenomenal thing to do for people. So yeah, that's generally the story. Please comment below. Put your comments in. Any questions you want to ask me, then feel free to ask those questions. I'll be happy to share those with you. And I'm sure other people would like to actually hear answers and, hear your questions too, to see what other people are thinking. If you're thinking of going on a property journey, that sort of thing. So yeah, comment below, and I look forward to making more videos and sharing them with you. So God bless you. Take care. Thank you.